Hey, back again for Long War Impossible. Let's spin the globe.
Access lift operational.
Lift complete. Tremendous work. Gonna get to this steam vent. Right, let's spin the globe some more. 2 scientists for 6 sectoids. That's a great deal. Again, this is the benefit of xenobiology. Early on, you get the scientists. They really reduce your time to get these important researchers early on, which helps. And then, you know, it benefits in the late game as well. It carries on. So yeah, scientists. Xenobiology is good for that. Look at this, even more. I'll take some more scientists, thank you very much. Now, as you can see, before it was 11 days for alien weaponry and 11 days on the council report. Now alien weaponry is going to happen before the council report. And although that doesn't really make a difference here, I think over the course of all these sectoids that I've converted into scientists, I've lost about 3 days just on this alien weaponry, and then I'll probably lose a few more days on beam weapons because that's quite a long research. So that's just showing the power of xenobiology early. Right, we have a heavy abduction. Let's have a look at who's available. Still only expecting sectoids and drones, so we should be okay. None of my lance corporals are going to make it into this one, so it's another round of specialists. Let's have a look. Who was involved? Okay, let's start building a team. Always want a gunner. Gunners are great. I think gunner is probably the one class I would always want on every single mission, no matter what. They're just so useful. Now, I believe I was going to turn this guy into a sniper. Are there any better prospects? Well, doesn't look like it. I'm going to have to curse someone by turning them into a scout, I think, here, because all my scouts have fared badly, either injured for a long time or unfortunately died. So someone's going to have to become a scout, and I think it's going to have to be this guy. This girl, in fact. You get to be a scout. And you also get a shotgun. Right. This infantry, looking okay with that. Happy with that. We're gonna... I think I'll give him a smoke grenade rather than a med kit. Let's see. Who else do we want on our team? Wouldn't be so bad to take a rocketeer. He has quite good aim as well. Terrible defense. It's actually quite important for a rocketeer not to have terrible defense, because you're often going to be trying to steady aim them. So if they have terrible defense like this, worse than everyone else on the team, and everyone's in equal cover, they're the ones who are going to get shot at, which is unfortunate. It's a shame. He has more health though, and pretty good mobility. So we'll take him. I think we could use an engineer here as well. I want to check how many engineers I currently have. Just the one. So yeah, we can definitely afford another. I think I wouldn't mind an engineer that's low aim because of... well actually, thinking about this, I know I was going to convert this one into a mech, and I think that engineer mechs aren't bad, so I'm going to make Kalia Banerjee a mech, and I'm going to make them a Shogun, because Shoguns start with collateral damage, which is an excellent ability, and they have some very interesting abilities as they level up. Now the last question is, do I take a private, or do I take another specialist? And I think I want to take a private. I have a reasonably balanced team. I've got something to deal with overwatches, I've got suppression, I'll have an engineer with plenty of grenades, and so I think I can afford to take... yeah, I can afford to take a private on this mission. I'll take someone middle level of aim. So about 63, that'll do. He has a lot of defense, okay. 5 defense. Well then I hope this guy gets converted into an assault then. That would be quite nice. Having high defense assaults are quite good, because you can... what you can do is, when they have resilience, you can stop treating assaults like any other soldier and start treating them like mechs, because they could just walk out of cover and just tank hits. So if they have high defense, that could potentially be an extra 5% chance to miss on open attacks against all enemies, which is, you know, not a bad situation to be in. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think I'd like one more flashbang in the squad if possible, but I don't know where I can fit it in. Yeah, I think I can swap this for a flashbang. I'd rather the Rocketeer have something they can usefully use that isn't a rocket, instead of giving the gunner the flashbang, because I'd rather he has the opportunity to suppress as often as possible. And the Rocketeer, once they've used their rockets, they often have not much to contribute, so giving them an extra grenade can sometimes be quite helpful. So I've got frag grenades. I think actually in this case it might be more useful to give the infantry a frag grenade. I didn't realise how few frag grenades I had. So that's 2 flashbangs, 3 frag grenades, a load of AP grenades. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's launch. So, China. Aha! It is the garage mission. Now here's an interesting one. Long War has made this level very tricky, and that is because of their random pod placement. It used to be quite formulaic. You get on the roof, you deal with everything on the roof, and go from there. But now my experience in Long War has been quite scary because of the start. The start has terrible cover, but that's not true for the entire map. The entire map in general has quite good cover. It's quite well made in general, but the start has some awful choices to make, and you should be able to see this quite soon. The trouble is, if this here, this started you facing sort of 90 degrees to the left, and your squad was here, this would be an infinitely better map. What's terrifying is that when you touch down, there's often pods here, and you have no real way to deal with it because you can't flank around here. Going in the roof is dangerous because of where the pods are. It shouldn't be as bad, hopefully, right now because of the fact that we're only dealing with sectoids and drones, but the first move on this turn, on this map, is either terrible or fine. That's your 2 options, so we'll see how this goes. My only real counter I've had in the past, any luck, is just bouncing up against this car and going round the side here. But we'll see how this goes. I want to move my riskiest people first. I'm going to move my shotgunner here, my scout. Ah, what a demonstration in action, eh? Of how this is a really tricky place to fight pods, because you can't flank at all. Right, I think, looking at my squad setup here, I think getting behind this car, dealing with this, moving up to the side here is probably my only option. So, having an infantry here on Overwatch might help. I want to know if he can see, what he can see when he's sitting there. That's what I'd like to know. Okay, nothing. That's good. That means I can Overwatch him. The Rocketeer, I would like him in somewhere he can actually fire a rocket next turn. I'd like to move him here, but it's so dangerous. I think perhaps into concealment on the roof, but it's a little bit risky, so I'm going to move him behind this car. I don't think there's anything he can do next turn. The Gunner, I want him to be able to move and suppress next turn, so I'm going to have him on the edge of this car. The Engineer is the one who is the easiest choice to make. He can be absolutely in concealment, so that he can throw grenades next turn. In fact, I might even make a slight risk and put him here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Her. It's alright, she's going to be a mech one day. Doesn't matter if she gets injured. And as for the rookie, he can just sit here as well. Now, I'm going to overwatch the infantry, and now I could overwatch to prevent him moving, but I'm not sure whether I want him to move or not. If I overwatch, he's less likely to move. If he moves up to here, that would be okay. I can move the Engineer around and do some work there, but it's a tricky one. I think I'll just hunker down. So now he's probably going to take a shot at the infantry here. That's not so bad. I can actually flank that with the scout, possibly even on the roof as well. Okay, not terrible. Yeah, having them spawn around here means you don't get a good picture of what they're up to. Oh, here comes the infantry's opportunity. It's probably not going to kill because he's mind melded. That looked like a hit to me. It was a hit. Excellent. And an overwatch. Right. So I think we can do some... We can have something happen here this turn, I think. I can definitely flank. Although I'm not sure I can move to there. If I trigger the Overwatch first with the scout, then we're okay. Do I have... I have AP grenades to back up. The gunner's here. Yep, okay. I feel fairly safe then in moving the scout here to take the shot on this sectoid, and then moving around to flank this one with the engineer and grenade follow-up. So that's what I'll do.
Headed there now.
Just hoping that the lightning reflexes doesn't hit and ruin my entire plan. Again, these scouts with their flimsy health. One down, 2 to go. Alright. Okay, that is actually a flank. Okay. That's good. I couldn't see there whether that was actually a move that would give me cover or not.
Heading to that location.
I don't predict this. Okay. Okay, there's definitely something strange about this spot then. And it's not giving me a flank either, so I think I'm going to have to use 2 grenades for this. Firstly though, I could take 2 shots with the infantry just to see what happens. One of them might hit.
Damn it. Weapons empty. Can't engage. Okay.
Let's see then. 2 AP grenades are almost guaranteed to do 6 damage. You have to be incredibly unlucky for that not to happen. I shouldn't jinx it by saying things like that. 5 damage. Okay, that's good. That means I'm also going to take a pot shot with one of these if I can. Perhaps I should get the kill with the rookie. Yeah, that makes sense. That engineer is not in cover. I just realised. Okay. PSA then. That spot does not work well. I know this guy's not on Overwatch because he was mind melding, so I'm going to move to here. Okay, finally the engineers decided to take some cover. Okay. Right, that's a flashbang. That means my only option here is throwing this grenade here. That's fine, I'm just hoping that it can reach, that's all. Because that was a little bit close there for the heavy.
I'm on it, Commander.
Gunner, in fact. Yeah, I'm confident that can reach. Yeah, it can reach. Grenades will do... AP grenades will do a minimum of 2 damage, but one of those damages can be mitigated. So, if you're spot on, I'd say you can expect 3 damage. I wouldn't say for definite you get it, but it's pretty likely that you will. Now, this Rocketeer, because he's carrying a rocket, has a mobility penalty, so I'd like to get him a bit closer.
Yes, sir.
So we'll dash him. There's no way he can do anything else, so that's fine. There is another sectoid around here. It's good that I'm here rather than here. I can't explain that very well here. But it's good that I'm on this spot rather than on the corner, because that means if he moves to here, I won't be flanked. I'll get a slight cover bonus. He might take a shot at the scout. He might do, or he might run. The scouts, man. The scouts are really putting in the hours for XCOM in this campaign.
Heading out.
They're getting a lot of kills though as well. Alright. Well, that was
Heading to
that was better
location.
than I was worried about, at least. Okay, but I'll have to remember that there for future. See if it does it all the time or just this one time. Nope, it does it every time.
Okay. I feel, Commander. Let's do this. Covering on it.
Come get some.
Just a quick cut there for a phone call. Yeah, so far so good. This is a heavy, which will be 4 pods at least, I believe. I don't know the exact numbers, and I think it sometimes varies and there is some crossover. But 4 is a good number for a heavy abduction.
Heading out.
I'm rolling.
Stupid flying gunner. I don't even know. How does that even happen?
Position confirmed.
Oh well. So these guys can move, they don't have to reload. I'd like to get the squad all together.
Back online.
Scout can reload though. The scout has been busy. So what I'm going to do now is going to move towards the roof. Let's see how things go from there.
Do you hear something?
I do hear something. I hear sectoids. And drones. Okay, I think drones are over in this direction. And I think sectoids are further back here. What I would quite like to do then is get onto the roof.
I'm on it, Commander.
Nothing there. Okay. Get onto the roof and then... there's something there. Get onto the roof, trigger something there on this side, perhaps. And then fight them from this doorway. So, I'm going to dash, actually. No, I won't dash, actually. Just to be safe. Because I'm going to dash with the scout. And if I trigger something on the roof, which is quite rare, but possible, then I would like to be able to react to it. It's possible that they'll just bounce out of this door, and I'll have to deal with that, but we'll see. I want to get the scout over there quickly so I can trigger next turn. So I'm going to
On the move.
do this. That was a bit of a calculated gamble there, because I don't think I've ever seen a pod spawn on the roof, but I think it is possible. So the scout jumps down next turn, triggers some aliens. They take cover away from the scout in theory in direction towards me, or in a place where I can flank, and then we're laughing. There they are, right there. The pod is there. So if I move... Unfortunately the scout cannot get there this turn. Right, I'm going to take it 2 turns then. That gives me time to set up by this door at least. So the Rocketeer should set up on this side, in case I want to throw any rockets. The Gunner I would like here, although I think it would be better considering the Gunner can't reach there. It's a steady weapon. The Rookie can go in first, and then the Engineer and the Gunner can follow it. Okay, that sounds good to me. I'm going to steady weapon the rocket so that we can do an extremely accurate rocket next turn. The scout will be the one to reveal. If I get a reveal on this turn, that would not be good. So I'm going to end up revealing these drones, but I'm not too concerned by that.
Making that noise.
I'm more concerned killing these sectoids quickly, and then I can deal with the drones. No problem. Right, where have they gone? Alright, I can move to there. I don't know where they've gone. They might have moved out of the garage now, which is a bit annoying, but time to reveal.
Contact.
Drones. I thought it was sectoids. Oh, and sectoids. Drones and sectoids, and then more drones over there. That's alright. As long as the scout can get out of trouble at least. Actually, this isn't bad at all. I can rocket that and have happy fun times. The scout will need to move though. Let's just check the Rocketeer can make that shot. If that is not an opportunity for a rocket, I don't know what is. Okay. Scout, time to get out. I might end up throwing a smoke grenade to cover the scout, which is fine. Oh no, wait, the scout can take some heavy cover here. I don't know if the sectoid can reach there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the sectoid won't be able to reach to flank there.
I'm on it, Commander.
So yeah, I'm going to have to deal with this quickly, I think. Ah, bonus, he's flanking somebody as well. Let's get the Rookie in somewhere. The heavy cover looks good to me.
That's what we're looking for.
He spotted some meld somewhere, has he? Oh, through the door. The door is open. Oh, that's scary. I didn't realise that. Let's see then. 100%. That is a number that I like in XCOM. For those who don't know, by the way, in Long War, in the original vanilla, the percentage on the rocket would tell you the chance of it hitting, which was, you know, almost always 90%. And the percentage chance now is actually the percentage that it will scatter. The percentage chance that it will scatter, and the scatter tells you by how much it will scatter. But I'm fairly confident this one's going to be quite good, and if not, it's going to at least hit a load of drones. Alright, not bad. One drone is still alive, by the looks of it, on 1 health, but we can deal with that. I think that moving the engineer around to flank next turn might be the way to go here. I'm putting the gunner in a position. Let me look at this. I could suppress, and I think that actually, I think that the sectoid's on this corner, so he won't be able to see. Apologise for my phone there. Yeah, if I move here and suppress, I think I'm fairly safe.
On my way.
There's another drone here that will probably move in, but I will overwatch to try and control that a little bit. So I may as well move the infantry forward.
There now.
And the engineer, I don't want to move there because the drone could flank, so I'll just keep him on this corner.
Overwatch, aye aye.
So one of these should hit the drone, hopefully. Oh, he's going to take the move. This is the thing with suppression. If they break your suppression, all bets are off, really. Luckily, he's gone well out of sight. Oh, somebody's breaking down doors. And here comes a sectoid. Oh.
That is not good.
Now I'm going to take a close range half cover hit, I think. Unless he decides to run. That was close. Okay, I think they knocked down this one of these doors here. Right, I'm going to have to act first for the sectoid here because I didn't see what action he took. But I think he took... I just think he dashed there. So... I can then move here and shoot that if necessary with the gunner. I'm a little concerned about these drones showing up in a minute, but we'll deal with that when we come to it, I suppose. Perhaps the best option is to move the scout here and take the shot.
I'm on it, Commander. Target acquired.
Perhaps not. Now Rocketeer's going to have to fire a second rocket, I think. And I think I'm going to have to move that rookie, otherwise he's going to take a hit. Yeah, I think with rockets and grenades, I think I can take care of those drones this turn. But I am going to have to move the rookie. He only has a flashbang, unfortunately. But if it doesn't do lethal damage, at least I can take a hit with quite a high percentage chance to hit. 77, that's quite good, and then I can move other people in if I need to. There is an engineer ready to assist here. That's good. Actually, let me have a look at what has the infantry got on him. Frag grenade. If that was an AP, perhaps I would have just thrown 2 grenades at it, but... Now I'm looking to see if there's a better angle. The trouble is that if you take a shot from moving before you've got snapshot, it's just too much variance involved there. This is already quite a risky shot because it could move and hit one of 2 cars. I'm a little bit hesitant to do that now. Well, if it all fails, at least... at least nothing. I could have the gunner take the shot on this guy and have the scout throw a grenade. That might be the better way to do things. Right, what I think I'll do then... I just don't trust this Rocketeer to not hit one of these 2 cars and end up killing everyone. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. There's enough people with shots on these drones that I think that I feel a bit safer doing this way. Throwing 2 AP grenades. Oh wow, well that's definitely been the better option then. Come on rookie then. Get your kill. Good work, rookie. And the scout can take the shot, and the gunner can either... Well, actually... Let me think about this. Since I still have 2 actions, one of them could be to kill... Yeah, this is a possibility.
Aye, aye.
The priority is still this sectoid here. But if I can kill that without using the scout's attack, then the scout can shoot the drone,
X-ray down.
which I have succeeded in doing. Good, now we've got 1 sectoid in that corner, that's all I'm aware of at the minute. So I will
I'm on the
move to here to Overwatch, and I'll move the Rocketeer ready to rocket him if he gets a bit funny about things. Unfortunately we're all in half cover here, and it's possible he could take a shot, but... Oh, now this is the point where I wish I'd Overwatched on that Rocketeer, because he might have been able to finish the job. Oh, Overwatch, that's fine. Oh, do I want to even do... Yeah, I don't even want to risk the Overwatch on the Scout.
light them up.
He's the last one here, so...
No rounds.
It would be so sad if I lost another Scout. Right. The question is, who takes the kill? I think the infantry. I'd like to get high-level infantry. Especially one with such high aim.
Booyah. I need ammo. All mission objectives
Excellent.
completed.
Now that is... that was an exercise in restraint there. To not use the rocket on such a juicy target. I mean... Oh, I've seen that go wrong so many times that you just... you don't want to risk it. The thing is with Rocketeers is... When you take them, you're making a statement about how you're going to play in that fight. You're going to set up, you have to set up, and then you have to take an opportunistic rocket. And you can't be slow to sort of make a decision on using that rocket. It's just, if you get a good chance, you've got to take it. That's my opinion with Rocketeers. Too many times I've saved rockets when they could have even just got 1 kill that would have made a difference. So yeah. Heat, I am not explaining my choices here, but Heat is an obvious choice here on the Rocketeer. He can just take out entire pods with 1 shot if he has heat warheads. You get a pod of Seekers, 4 Seekers show up, you chuck a scanner out, then a rocket. That Seeker pod just doesn't exist anymore. You know, with mechs as well. It's great with combining with Shredder, where you can shred a mech and do quite a large amount of damage. Just especially on, say, mechtoids or sectopods very much later on. But yeah, that's just great. Infantry, covering fire, he's going for the Overwatch option as well. If I get lots and lots of infantries, maybe I'll choose one of them to go a different route, but the fact is that you're very rarely going to have 2 infantries on the same mission. So, I mentioned about how infantries are incredibly reliable, so the way you want to use them is to sort of the core of your squad, and you can't take one on every single mission, so spreading out the experience between 2 of them and then leveling them up the same way is not a bad idea. So we have a gunner. Again, I'm going to leave this choice until I actually need to make it for a mission. And a tactical. Probably going to end up an assault, but we'll see when the necessary time comes for him to do his duty. Quite a short mission then, fairly quick. Could have gone worse, so I think I was discussing what I was going to do with my money last time, and I think now I'm coming to a point where I've got a decision to make. Now, looking at my power, I can build either a workshop or an uplink. I think there's not a lot to spend. Thank you, Alan. I wish I didn't click that now. There's not a lot to spend on except maybe a shiv. I could build another satellite. Just tie up some of my money. Great thing is that you can always cancel these and just rebuild them. But perhaps it's now time to work on the ant farm. So I'm going to build 1 fission generator to tide me over until I can get the thermal. And I'm going to build... That will take 10 days, which means that it will finish around about the same time as the council report, so that means I don't need to put the satellite uplink yet. So I will build a workshop. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit of cash. What can I sell for cash? Lots and lots of sectoid corpses. I've got 1 flight computer that I'm not going to be using yet, so I think I'll sell that. And then that gives me 3. 1 thin man. And then I'll build a workshop. Love workshops. Absolutely love them. I really think that they're so much better in Long War than they were in vanilla. Just giving engineers was such a strange benefit. But reducing item cost, I mean, over the course of an entire campaign, a 10% reduction in everything I buy is going to be incredible. Way more than the cost it's going to be. And the fact that you get multiple ones give you refund materials, getting alloys back in Illyrium, just cutting a slight amount of alloys and Illyrium and whatever about out of what you're building. I think you even get meld as well back, although I've not played around with the workshop enough to know if that's true or not. Just getting those resources back is so valuable, so incredibly valuable. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is make a square of Cyberlab, Foundry and another workshop, and then I can get the adjacency bonus and stack that up. So that's great. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. See you in the next episode.